Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on this secure messaging webinar. I'm Chris, I'm an account manager here at AMS, and I also have Richard Spinks with me, one of our technical consultants, just to answer any technical questions that you may have on the end. Just a quick note on the questions, there's an opportunity to type in questions in the panel on the right hand side at the bottom. So just to quickly run through what we're hoping to cover in today's webinar, I'll firstly start with a brief introduction to us, AMS, and the manufacturer OpenText. We'll then go through the current business issues and challenges with traditional standard email and traditional file transfer. We'll then have a brief overview of the products. We'll then go into a bit more detail with the products, firstly with Secure Mail, and then secondly with Secure MFT. We'll follow this with a brief demonstration of the Secure Mail product. I'll then come back and summarize what we've discussed in the webinar, and we'll go through some of your questions at the end. So AMS and OpenText, well, we've been around for about 20 years, and we have quite a bit of experience in delivering secure document delivery solutions. So I think it's fair to say that we really understand the compliance issues organizations face these days. We have just over 2,000 customers, most of which are based in the UK, and we're in a fortunate position to be a platinum partner with OpenText. Now, OpenText are a billion-dollar organization, and they're the world #1 when it comes to EIM and ECM solutions. So between the two of us, we have quite a lot of experience in dealing with requirements around secure message and secure document transfer. So here's a snapshot of some of our customers. As you can see, these solutions that we implement really fit into a wide variety of vertical sectors, both in public and in private. So some of the challenges with standard email and traditional document transfer. Well, as you're probably aware, standard emails often go through several servers before reaching the end recipient. And this means that the data is very easily accessible by unwanted recipients or guests. FTP is a very popular way of sending and transferring files, but by its nature is reasonably unsecure. For example, credentials are often sent in plain text, but not only credentials, quite often the files are also sent in plain text without any encryption. Traditional email encryption is quite often complex, so one of the questions we get is, why not just add encryption to standard email? Well, it does add a layer of complexity, and it's quite difficult to get right. So balancing the diverse company needs is often difficult in this scenario. As I'm sure you're aware, mistakes are often made, and there's no real traceability or audit trail of those mistakes. So information is often sent to the wrong recipients, and there's also no control of what happens at the recipient's end either. It's difficult to recall a message, and there's no control over what the user sends from that standard non-encrypted email account. Functionality, as well as being able to stop freezing, replying or forwarding of an email, is also very hard with traditional email. Processes can be time-consuming and costly. So legacy products in this sector often involve labor-intensive processes, usually around the creation of security keys, and that's one to encrypt and one to decrypt each message. Processes themselves can be very time-consuming as well. We're dealing with just to give you a quick example, we're dealing with an NHS prospect at the moment who burns X-rays onto CDs, and then they are then couriered or posted or hand-delivered to another GP surgery or trust or even to a patient. So this is a very time-consuming process, and as you can imagine, the costs do tend to rack up as well. There can be a restriction on file size. Many users I speak to have a file limit of 10 megabytes from their standard email. And traditional methods of document transfer can increase load on IT infrastructure, and this mainly comes down to the time taken and the cost to buy and manage servers involved in the transfer. So a brief introduction to the products. We have two products here from OpenText. The first is OpenText Secure Mail. Now, Secure Mail is a great product, and it really enables internal and external users as well as applications to easily exchange secure messages and attachments. It has great integration with the email systems, so it makes exchanging, tracking and encrypting messages very, very simple. The alternative is secure MFT, or managed file transfer. Now this solution transfers files up to 80 times faster than traditional transfer methods such as FTP or HTTP. Like secure mail, it also allows organizations to leverage their existing email infrastructure whilst conforming to company procedures and regulations. So a bit more detail about the secure mail products and how that works. As you would expect, it has full email integration with an Outlook plugin, and this is quite a neat feature. So upon hitting send, the toolbar will intercept the command and reroutes the message via HTTPS, and this is instead of going via SMTP. It has a web client which is compatible with any web browser, and as you can see there as well, it's fully compatible with smartphones and tablets. In addition, you can make use of the REST API to automatically send messages from third-party systems. Throughout the whole process, the message is encrypted, and from the recipient's end, they also have the opportunity to download the Outlook plugin completely for free and to use the web client completely for free. Now the great thing about this solution, it's compatible with all email systems, so it doesn't matter what email system the recipient is using, the email will be automatically decrypted upon receipt with the Google Chrome extension. So this is something that we're quite excited about, and I think it's something that differentiates us from our competitors. This is a patented delivery slip, and as you can see here, I've blown it up so you can see it a lot easier, but it sits at the side of your email. In the background you'll see there's a standard email account, and what it really does, it gives the user real-time auditing of the document and the message that's been sent. Just to run through some of the functionality of this delivery slip, this shows the user that delivery slip has been reviewed, secure message retrieved, secure message replied to, secure message forwarded, a secure message has been printed, and permanently deleted. So as you can see, it really gives everyone involved in the conversation the knowledge of what's happened to that document and what's happening with that information that's been sent. There's a few other options down here around the freeze options and tracking and the enhanced security options, but we'll go through those in more detail during the demo. So the alternative, secure MFT, and how does this work? Well, again, it has an Outlook plugin, so enabling users to use their Outlook in using the existing email infrastructure. It's compatible with multi-browsers such as Secure Mail as well, with the web clients. The neat feature about this solution is it has an automatic drop folder. So users can drag and drop files into this folder, and they will be sent automatically to a predetermined recipient. In addition, you can completely automate secure file delivery between the organization and third-party systems. As you would expect, the information throughout this whole process is encrypted, and it also comes with directory authentication, and this just ensures that users or systems that don't have authority to send or receive these files cannot do so. From the recipient end, the recipient will receive a hyperlink allowing them to access the file once they've authenticated, and everything that happens with these files is caught in the audit log as well. And there's also an option to run a policy-based file transfer where there's no user intervention at all, and this is from system to system, which will eliminate any issue around user error. So we've got time for a quick demonstration. The webinar is reasonably short, so we're only going to demo the Secure Mail product today. So if I just quickly go to my email inbox. So you'll probably notice at the top here there's a Secure Mail button. If I click on this, okay, so it launches a standard email template. The only difference is it has this delivery slip at the right-hand side, which is what we just discussed in the PowerPoint presentation. Now, if I send a quick message, I'll send it to myself for the sake of the demo. If I browse and find my file, and I can hit send straight away. Before hitting send, there are options on the right-hand side from this delivery slip for the user. They can freeze replies and they can freeze forwards. These enable tracking and share tracking are set up as standard because it really gives everyone involved in the conversation all the details about the file and all the details about the message and what's happened to it. This enhanced security down here, for your eyes only, we'll go through in a second. So I can hit send. If I go back to my inbox, okay, so I've just received my secure email. Now you may have quickly seen a hyperlink pop up there. Because I'm a registered user of Secure Mail, it automatically decrypts the message and gives me this option of delivery slip. If I try and access the message here as the attachment, I can't, and it just points me back towards the delivery slip where I can access the attachment here. So I think it's worth mentioning here as well that many solutions out there make the recipient log on or authenticate every time they receive a secure message. These solutions are different. Once the user or the recipient has done this once, they don't need to do it again, and it's a very quick and easy process. Now, just to quickly do another one and show you one of the enhanced security options. If I browse and attach my file again. This time I'm going to click for your eyes only. And what it's doing is prompting me to put in a password. In this case, for the sake of the demo, we'll put open text. I hit send. Now it's asking me to confirm this because this process, how it usually works is that this password will be given to the recipient over the phone. So there's no option or no way that this password can be seen by anyone that you don't want to be seen by. So I'll just confirm this again. And hit send. If I go back to my inbox. Okay, so I've received my secure message. And from here, it's telling me that there's been an enhanced level of security used with for your eyes only. If I try and access the attachment again, I can't. Now, before I can access that attachment, I have to type in the password that I've been given over the phone, unlock the document, and there we go, I can access it now. Now, some customers ask us whether giving users the choice whether to use encrypted email or standard email is a good decision, and I suppose the answer is sometimes no. If the process is containing a lot of sensitive data or is something you're worried about, there are measures in place to cater for this, and I think it's something that OpenText have addressed quite well. Now, we won't go through the whole admin client because we're short on time today, but we're just in the security policy tab here. And if I scroll down, you'll notice down here there's options for filtering. So you can do clever things like if there's a credit card number, you can say please make sure this goes by encrypted email, or you can type in regular expressions, different file attachments, and different domains. And what this does, it just adds another layer of security. So if the user sends it by a standard email by mistake, it doesn't matter. It will be picked up by the Secure Mail product and automatically sent in an encrypted format. So that concludes the quick demo. I'll just quickly go back and summarize. So just to summarise what we've discussed in the webinar so far in the demo, we think these products have a few benefits. One of them is to really reduce the load on IT. And this is because you're empowering users to exchange large files inside and outside the organisation without much IT intervention at all. Minimise risk. This is probably the key driver and why many customers come to us. So with the encryption of auditing file transfer, you get to minimise a lot of risk. But also, if you're allowing systems to carry out the transfer, you also eliminate the risk of user error as well. Increased productivity and operating efficiency. So you're improving process time, and you're able to automate the delivery of secure documents as well. And it saves hours of sending files via hard drives or by mail or couriers and working out complicated FTP. Integrate seamlessly into existing user interfaces. So these products are really designed to be user-friendly. So you can see by the Outlook plugin and the multi-web browser compatibility and the tablet and the smartphone compatibility as well. There's nothing sort of scary for the users for these solutions. They shouldn't be too difficult to roll out solutions such as this to your users. And improve communication. So these solutions will improve communication internally and externally, improving relationships between internal and external customers as well as suppliers. So that's the end of the webinar. Well, thanks a lot for joining, everyone, and I hope you found it useful as a quick overview to secure messaging. We've got a few questions, I think, that we can go through. Any questions we don't get to, don't worry. Your account manager will be in contact over the next day or so just to run things through with you in more detail. But I'll pass you over to Rich to go through some of the questions.
Thanks, Chris. So the first question we've got here is, can you explain how the messages are encrypted? So within secure mail, both messages are encrypted both on transit and when they're at rest on the secure mail servers. During transit, they're secured over the transmission channel using TLS 1.1 or 1.2. So that's the same sort of security as you'd get with your online banking. When the documents are at rest, so when they're waiting to be retrieved or read from the recipients, they're encrypted using AES 256-bit encryption. Another question we've got here is, how is the software licensed? I might pass you back to Chris for that.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. Both products are licensed in a very similar way, and that's either by a per-user model or a per-message model. And it really comes down to the amount of users you have in your organization and what you're looking to achieve, and the amount of transfers you'll be carrying out on a per-month basis. So it's probably something, to answer properly, it's something that one of our account managers have to speak to you about in more depth to really understand your requirements and put together a solution that's really tailored to your organization.
Thanks, Chris. Another question we've got here is, what are the file attachment size limits? And that's one of the great benefits with secure mail and secure MFT is there are no file size limits. Within secure mail, you can attach within Outlook or from the desktop app or through the web portal, you can attach any size attachment, which is great. I've got another question here from Phil O'Neill. What options are available for Mac? So within a Mac environment, you'll be able to use the web portal, which supports all your different browsers, and you'll also be able to use a desktop agent. So that will sit in your system tray and just notify you whenever a message is being sent to you, or it gives you shortcuts for creating new secure messages. As well as that, it will also work on your iOS, so it'll work on tablets or your iPhone, and it'll work with things like BlackBerries. We've got native applications for BlackBerries, iOS, and Android as well. There's one more question here. We currently do content checking at the SMTP gateway. Is there a method to do content checking on the secure messages? There is. So if I understand the question correctly, within the admin portal, you can create secure policies, which means that if a user enters in certain content, so that could be a bit of static information you put, it could be when a user addresses it to a certain recipient or domain, or we can use regular expressions to pick up on sort of rules. If a user sends a standard email that doesn't abide by those security policies, then the email can either be blacklisted, so it can be stopped, or it can be automatically sent via secure mail. I think that's all the questions we've got. So, Chris, I'll hand back over to you.
Thanks, Rich. Well, thanks everyone for attending today. I hope you found it useful. If there's any more questions in the meantime, then please let us know or get in contact with your account manager. And I mean, your account manager will probably be in contact over the next day or so anyway, just for a quick catch-up. But thanks a lot for your time.